Alright, y'all. It's about that time. Get started with this podcast. Hey, about to say April. Good grief. It's not April anymore. It's now the month of May. May 2nd, 2017. This is your host, for the most, go by the name of Chinchilla Q, also known as DJ Skylar of HipRockerProductionsCM.com. That dude paddleboard, I ain't mad at him. Get your waves going, man. Get your waves going. But yeah, it's just one of the podcasts I'll be doing every week. Well, for the video podcast, just got over here, touchdown Santa Monica. And we about to get it cracking. We're about to get started. Actually, I get you guys a good view so you guys go ahead and see the waves of the ocean and whatnot, and how they're gonna be. This video podcast is going to be a little more quicker than usual, only because I'm doing another regular podcast right after this one. So I'm not gonna be on this one far too long like the other ones. Try to make it go by quick so that get started with the day. So welcome to those who now tune in. I know others could be tuning in and everything else, so just stay tuned for the recap of the podcast. Well, the recap of the video if you guys miss anything, whoever comes through. Well, we about to get started right here though, and get it cracking. And let's go with this. Oh, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Quinn Moore, also known as Chinchilla Q of HipRockerProductionsCM.com. And do music production, entrepreneurship, motivational speaking, and other things too. So I tend to come over to Santa Monica Beach or any other beach I could get my hands to get to do the video feed. And it's been a cool minute. I think we're on part 9 of this, so that's a blessing within itself. All right, y'all. So let me make sure that everything is set in order. And once I see that everything's set in order, then we're about to go ahead and start the show. Like I said, I'm about to move pretty quickly with this. I'm not about to stay on these topics too long. So let's go ahead. So Blessed Mondays, April 24th, 2017 from last week. This is a recap for what it did talk about last week. This is part 1. Blessed Mondays had 3 parts. And actually the key element for this particular podcast is actually about life. Last week got some news that wasn't too grand, and lost 2 family members out in Texas, so that right there kind of hit home. And just the whole rest of the week just been talking about life and the importance of it. So we about to talk more about that today. So for last Monday, April 24, 2017, Blessed Monday, so that's part 1. I'm going to repeat this message again. Life is extremely fragile and never promised. Enjoy your family and friends, for you never know the day or time. Same date on April 24, 2017, Blessed Mondays part 2. So if your job is give you strife or something in your life is frustrating you, by all means get out from the negative environments and get somewhere in which you can enjoy life. And it's a part 3 to it. So same thing, April 24, 2017, Blessed Mondays part 3. Never settle for less. At the same time, stop chasing at the money, for once you leave this earth, you can't take it with you. What happens on earth stays on earth. So let's go with part 1. Part 1, I said, always enjoy your family and friends, because you never know when they may be leaving you. When I got the news that my godmother and my uncle had passed on last Monday, it was news I did not want to hear. Only because the past couple of years lost key people, that have influenced my life in different periods of times. And it's been like hitting like bam, bam, bam. So looking up and hear about that last Monday, I'm like, dang, this is the icing to the cake. Just a little bit too much. But at the same time, we can't really dwell on, what has happened and transpired. If you lost somebody very close to you, trust me, it does hurt. It does hurt. But at the same time, you cannot let that hurt get to you. You have to just keep on pushing on. because we're here on borrowed time. And yes, this is Santa Monica, and hello to everybody else. Good morning, good morning. And I forgot to give you guys the time. It's 8:18 out over here. So surprisingly, because last Tuesday the waves was really hidden. It was pretty windy last week too, so that could have been the cause of it. But today it seemed like the waves is pretty calm, pretty chill. So that's not bad at all. That's pretty cool. I actually want the waves to be a little more higher, but it's all good. But yeah, though. So to continue with the message, life is fragile. You have to just live it day by day, but you have to live day by day with a purpose. So you can't just be living life just to live life. You can't just wake up in the morning just because you want to wake up and you don't know what to do. We all have those days where we wake up and we be grumpy and be like, okay, so what the flip am I going to be doing this morning or doing this day? That's the point where you get creative and say, you know what, I want to go a bit of an adventure. I want to go explore something. Especially if you work at a job and you have off days. On your off days, just go somewhere new. Go somewhere you've never been before. Don't just stay in the house, or don't just stay in the same place that you be staying at for the past couple of years. Get someplace new. I do the Santa Monica thing every Monday or Tuesday, one of those 2 days. Reason being, and I'm going to hit home with it later on in this video, is because it relaxes my mind, but at the same time it's peace and serenity. As you guys can see, you see the city in the background, correct? Now you look down there, you see nothing but ocean and the Malibu Mountains and other parts of the Pacific Coast Highway and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, once you're seeing all of that, what's also happening too is for the fact that it's peaceful, because you listen more to the waves of the ocean as opposed to the city. Like, I cannot hear the cars that's driving on the little freeway over there going past by, but I can hear the dude working on the thing over there. That's whatever. But I can hear the waves of the ocean. Gets its own sound, gets its own music, which makes you feel more peaceful, and it actually makes your mind 10 times more better on just really understanding life and just basically regaining back your senses and your sense of purpose in life. So you have to really just take a look at it from that point of view. And also a part of the Blessed Mondays posts that had that off of Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter and things of that nature, I have also put never chase money. I'm going to tell you right now, there are those of you that are very money hungry, those of you that love to make money, so you buy the finest things, the life and things of that nature. I understand that completely. You guys got to grind to make more money, go ahead and do it. But for those of you that just be chasing at the money, then you get frustrated because the money never comes to you or always goes out quickly. I want to let you guys know something. The thing is that you can't really be chasing at the money, because money comes and money goes. It's going to flow out like the ocean. It's going to hit to the top. We get at the top, and as soon as it recedes to the shores, it's going to be gone. And then it comes right back like the other waves down there. It rises back up and goes back down. So you can't be chasing at the money. What you can chase after is your purpose and what you need to do in life. And if you add a job to which you do not like whatsoever, because of just the environment or just the people or whatever it may be that you don't like, that's the point in time where, and I see a whole lot of folks, especially grown-ass people, that just be stuck in one spot because they're afraid to move on. Can't be afraid to move on. You got to continue to push. You got to continue to make things happen. You got to live life. Like I said earlier in this podcast, you got to live life. You got to really go after what it is that you want to go after. You can't just stay stuck in one place and then expect that you're going to be making whatever type of money that you want to make or whatever type of life that you want to live. It doesn't happen if you're stuck at one spot for 20-something fucking years. You have to continue to push. Excuse my language. I didn't mean to say it like that. But sometimes I have to put it to that perspective so that you guys can actually hear it from a point of view to which you're like, okay, he's actually right. This is being serious. I think I skipped something. Oh yeah, actually nah. I actually put both of them together. You know, the negative part and the chasing money part. All right, so yeah. And the last part about the blessed money thing was what happens on earth stays on earth. Heard that off of Kendrick Lamar's new album. It's a very interesting concept as to how he had put it. You know, for whatever happens on earth stays on earth. Basically, give a deeper understanding to that quote. Let's say like this: we're born, we grow up, we do what we think we need to do, which doesn't fully work half the time. We live life, we get a little bit older, or God calls us home at whatever age it may be. So everything that we basically did on earth in the physical stays here, even though it is recording. It's recorded up in heaven, though. Some of you guys may believe it, some of you guys may not. If you don't believe it, it's all good. Just listen to a brother and just hear the message. If you do believe what I'm talking about, then you know where I'm going with this. All the actions we done, it is recorded in heaven. But the physical attributes of like the iPhones and watches and things like that, we can't take that with us where we're going. Because from ashes to ashes to dust to dust, that's where we came from. Some of y'all might dispute that, say, well, you came from a mother. Yeah, but you had to remember, when somebody dies, and let's say their body been in the casket for almost, let's go to the people out of 1800s, whatever. Say their body been in the casket for about almost 100-something years, and, depending on how the body was emballed and everything, the bones may still be intact, or certain parts of the bones, might actually be completely dust and ashes. Just being real. To the point where your clothes that you bury in is still there and, tattered and wear, because not all caskets is seal-proof. That's what they don't tell you guys, but they not fully seal-proof because you still got dirt and other things that get inside. But at the same time, we do even with autopsies, what they do see somebody has been deceased for a cool minute, they like, whoa, a person like losing half their skull. Or you take a look at, give it a good example, you look at the mummies and how they was all wrapped up and everything else like that. And how, when they unwrap the mummy, try to see who it was and try to do DNA testing, they have like little dust particles and dirt coming off from them. That's because we're from ashes to ashes and dust to dust, straight up. So yeah, whatever you do here on earth, make sure that it has a purpose behind it. And you're not just doing it just to say because you live in life. Straight up. So let's get on with the rest of the show. So on the Grind Tuesdays, because I was here last Tuesday while I was doing that video feed, April 25th, 2017, I said life is extremely fragile. Stop living in fear and stop living somebody else's bullshit. Basically, everything I just said a couple minutes ago replies to this too. And especially living in fear. You can't live life in fear, because every time you live life in fear, you miss out on opportunities, you miss out on bigger things. I see a whole lot of people over at my job that I work in that they living in fear due to management and everything else. And that's because most of them have not been taught that you can move from one place to another in life, especially at a job. You could leave one job and get another job. When you have the mindset of, okay, if the doors are closed, and that means this is not the place I need to work at. So when the other door opens, that means this is the place I need to work at, and there's a purpose behind it. That's the type of mindset you need to have if you try to look for another job and things of that nature. Or some people get comfortable. Be brutally honest with y'all, I don't like to be comfortable at one place, because the moment you get comfortable is the moment you start slacking off, the moment you start adapting and becoming like everybody else. You sort of have the same mindset, the same traits, and it's not cool. And especially for us entrepreneurs, that may have a 9 to 5 to the side or something like that, you really want to make sure that you're making power moves and not staying at one place and whatnot. I mean, it's been a blessing over at the job I work over at LAX airport, whatever. Been for about 4 years. Well, I'm gonna be brutally honest with y'all. Tired of being there. Reason being I'm tired of being there, It's because it's the same old shit that goes on every week and every other day when I'm over there at the job. Nothing new has really been changing. I could easily be at the higher art, but I tend to not to, because there are certain individuals that you can work with, but you have to really watch your back behind. But at the same time, I don't like being stuck in one place. Like I said, I'm a music producer as well too. So I like to have doing multiple things to keep myself uplifted and keep myself happy. Same thing that most of you guys that's on this listen to this video podcast, if you're watching the recap or whatever it may be, just doing. What are you doing in life? Just make sure, like I said before, it has a purpose behind it. Don't live in fear, because the moment you live in fear is a moment that you miss out on everything in life. So always, always, always have a purpose behind everything. And let's go on with April 26, 2017. My bad. April 26, 2017. Motivational Wednesdays. A daily reminder. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. For at the end of the day, he has full control of your plans, period. Most of you guys don't believe in God, and it's all cool. I ain't tripping about that. Y'all have your own beliefs and things, so we're not about to dive into that right now. But I just want to give you this message. You want to if you telling God, okay, this is what I want to do, woo, he's going to laugh at your plans. He's going to redirect your plans. I've seen it happen so many times. And it's not a bad thing when he redirects your plans either, because he's teaching you life lessons and things of that nature. But there are some of us where we get up, or we have a daily planner, and we plan something out, and things that we think is going to be working. So at the end of the day, where it doesn't happen, we get mad, we get frustrated. We're like, why is my plans not going, according to plan as it should be? That's because, like I said before, our plans is not our plans. So, you can't get mad at God about that. You just have to really just laugh and just say, you know what? I'm going to just continue to push on, continue to push forward, and just go by God's plan and just make something happen each and every day and be happy. You really got to take a look at it from that point of view. Because if not, then what's going to happen is you'll keep getting frustrated about life and things that's happening, to the point where you just go be like, F it, and then you are going to say, forget about it, and just, try to do your own thing. Wherever you try to do your own thing, I'm telling you right now, this is what God redirects you to what you need to be doing. So always remember that. On April 27, 2017, Daily Tips Thursdays, I said, if the screams inside of you is louder than your reality, then do know it's just your purpose telling you that you need to stop playing with life and live life with a purpose. Everything I've been saying right now up until that, excuse me for mumbling on my words just now. But everything I've just been saying as to live life with a purpose, live life with a purpose, is for a reason. Because if you're not living life with a purpose, you're just another being that's just here on earth taking up other people's time and not looking at the bigger picture. I'll give you guys a good example. Yesterday I had got up, took care of the business. When you're an entrepreneur, I'm going to let you know right now, the moment you see you're going to become an entrepreneur, get ready to look at your bank account looking kind of low. Because you're going to have some things that paying off, things that you're learning, whatever, that at the same time, that's going to frustrate you a little bit. Your account is kind of low. So I had to go to a GameStop, sell a couple of video games I really rarely play anymore. I'm like very, not conservative, but I'm like, oh yeah, you could say kind of conservative on video games, whatever, right now. So I rarely play big name titles. Now I'm about to get back into doing that, so I can start doing video gaming streams of playing certain games and whatever, and get the little YouTube revenue from that. But also at the same time, show you guys tips and tricks and stuff. That's coming out later on this year. So I'm planning on doing that. Try to make other power moves do side along with music production, and another thing I'll try to do out in Vegas. But at the same time too, the reason why I had mentioned that is because yes, I took care of what I need to take care of, but at the same time, You have those days where you get frustrated about life because you know you need to do something more, but you wow, my ears started to come out a little bit. You can't quite grasp what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So what tends to happen is you get pissed off, you get mad, you get a little bit angry, and you just say to yourself, well, shit, what should I do today? And that's the point where you really need. We're about to hit to the other side real quick because I want to give you guys another perspective on. Ooh, that wave looked very pretty. But no, that's the point where you really take a look. Should not have put that iPad on the beam, but that's where you take a little look, ladies and gents, as to what's really happening. And at the same time, that's where you really take a look at just life in general. Because to be honest, that's where I should have came to Santa Monica or a different beach yesterday to get my mind clear. But I prolonged it and said, nah, we're going to do it on Tuesday. Big mistake. Should have done it on Monday. It would have been much more better. So wherever you're feeling down or wherever you're feeling like that, that's the point where you need to go to a place of serenity. Just like the people on the boat out over there. Enjoying life, actually might be a Coast Guard, but enjoying life, enjoying what, needs to happen. Just enjoying the sense of, this is reality. What I mean by this is reality, I mean that this right here is life. Meaning, as you guys hear the waves of the ocean, you feel a sense of calmness. You don't feel as if you are truly lost in this world. So always remember that. You guys can see it far down there, but far down there with the mist and everything that's happening, is Palos Verdes, Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, Venice Beach, Redondo Beach, Dockweiler Beach, and down the other way is Catalina Island. They're all down there. And if you look behind me where we're at, that's where Malibu Mountain and everything else is on that part. And I just lost the other post. Where's it at? Boss House Fridays. Alright, so we're about to come to the ending of this podcast. And I'm going to hit it with this last piece for you guys. So that'll be Boss Status Fridays on April 28th, 2017. Boss Status Fridays. I said another piece. Oh yeah, another piece of tranquility. Wait a minute. Yeah, another piece of tranquility and peace is the win. You may not notice it sometimes, but when you're at a complete stillness and close your eyes, you hear the peace which comes from the wind. Let me explain that to you guys. Last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but especially last Friday in general, it was hella windy out here in California. I mean, it was windy to the point where I had to do a special podcast just to talk about how the wind, just like the ocean, is just peaceful. And at the same time, that wind was really, it was very beautiful, very beautiful. But the wind was pretty good. And the reason why I mentioned that in the last podcast is because it's like this. Same thing I'm doing at Santa Monica. I'll be doing every Monday and Tuesday. Is the thing I did same thing I do here at Santa Monica, which is come here to get my mind prepared for the week. At the same time, you guys, these daily podcasts. But at the same time I'm doing the daily podcasts or whatever, it's just a point of, like I said before, you got to get to a place of peace and tranquility to where you can really get your mind back in order. I cannot stress it enough. I've been saying it since I actually came back to South Central LA. And that is, I actually want to get myself a nice little house over here, someplace, Santa Monica, or even at Hermosa Beach. Santa Monica in general, because it's closer to Malibu and the other mountains and things of that nature. But the reason being that I would love to have a little house over here is not because, oh yeah, you live in Santa Monica, it's expensive, woo. Nah, it's not that. It's for the fact that I'll be honest, while I was living in Redondo Beach, it was cool being out there because the environment was cool. It was peaceful out there, but at the same time, the reason why I liked it out there was because I could literally walk up the street. A nice, cool little couple blocks, though. But I could easily get to Redondo Beach from where my house is at. So that's the reason why I'm I would not mind having a house out here in Santa Monica and do the same thing. You have people fish here. If you see people fish here, they usually be fishing right down over there, and it'd be real early in the morning like it is right now. The tourists don't start hitting until around 10 o'clock-ish, 9:30-ish, going on 10 o'clock. And then that's when they just start piling in. But if you want to see fishermen, they usually be here around 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning fishing. But you have more tourists come later on, around 10 o'clock. Trust me, that's the reason why now I like to get up a little bit more early to do these video podcasts, so that I could do it was peaceful like this, and you guys see the waves of the ocean really start hitting and things of that nature, as opposed to me being here and it's a whole lot of noise, which is nothing wrong with that. But when you're doing kind of a video podcast, you actually want to be kind of a little bit more peaceful, but hear the surrounding sounds, but not too many sounds to where you get distracted. I want to keep distractions at the bay, which is why I like coming out here and doing the podcast. Is because it takes my mind off from the city area. You guys see that? That's downtown Long Beach, part of it right there. Way different than downtown LA. Mind, I had you. But you take a look around, and you kind of see the mountains and everything else and stuff like that, and it's very beautiful and all that type of shit, just to keep it real. And like I said before, Reese, I'll ever have to have a house over here, shoot, come over here, do the podcasts and whatnot. At the same time, have the peace and tranquility, said before, get your mind right, so that way you can start the day a hell lot more better than you did the other day. And it always works. It always works. I have one of my good friends dude, you be at Santa Monica a lot. And I told him, I said, I'll go to Santa Monica Beach because, one, very easier for me to get out over here than the other beaches and whatnot. And since I take a little train over here, that's even more perfect because a straight shot to downtown Santa Monica, then the train goes back to downtown Los Angeles. So you can go stop in between to where I'm living at, which is perfect. And whatever, because the same train I take to get out here, the same train I take to get to my job. So, it's always good, especially California when gas prices be varying on prices. It's good to always, leave your car parked at your house and then just save gas and just catch public transportation to where you need to get to. Especially someplace like Santa Monica, because right now, if you try to get out here, it's traffic on the freeway, especially on the Santa Monica 405 freeway, and that right there is not the business if you try to come out here and do a podcast. So with that, I'm going to end this podcast with this, because I'm going to do another special podcast in a few minutes. Not going to be video, going to be more focal. So if you guys want to tune to that podcast, you can head towards my website at hiprockerproductioncm.com. Actually, let me rephrase that, because I still had to add new stuff on there just yet. My apologies. So you can actually go to Spreaker, spelled SPREAKER.com / the little slash symbol that you find on your laptop, the lounge. Or actually go on my Facebook page at hashtag business minus leaders. It's literally hashtag the little number pound sound, business minus leaders all together. Search for the Facebook group page like that. Or you guys can follow me on my Twitter account at ChinchillaQ21, which this Periscope podcast will be posted up on there. But you guys can go through the post and you guys can see the I have a little video that I did on my Snapchat, and it shows, and it says the Business Minded Leaders podcast for the Friday, and if I'm not mistaken, that said April 28th, and it's basically a white screen, but you kind of see it. I think if I'm not mistaken, there's a little dog on the little video or something like that. Either way, you guys could take a listen to the podcast from there, but if not, then Spreaker, spelled SPREAKER.com/lounge. That's where you guys can find the Focal podcast off there. And then you guys could stay tuned while I do the special podcast in a few minutes. So yeah. But with that, ladies and gents, I want you guys to really understand this. I'm going to say it once again so you guys can fully grasp on what I'm trying to display on this week's podcast. And that is, you have to live life for the purpose, live life to the fullest. Because as you can see, out here by the ocean, it's beautiful, it's peaceful. The mist and the fog is way down there, right by Malibu and things of that nature, and it's coming in from the other side of the world, or it might be part of the middle, but it's still beautiful at the same time. It's peaceful out here. Folks asking where's the women with the bikinis and stuff like that. They ain't not fully out here yet. They don't come out here until later on. They actually might be out, probably might say by Manhattan and Hermosa Beach and Redondo Beach, because that's where it's really more, it's kind of more active over there in the mornings and whatever. I'm surprised Santa Monica's not fully active like that, but it's really pick up over here to like around 10ish or stuff. When the summertime hits, it's really going to be picking up, because all the kids is at school and everything. I took it back. That's what the kids is out of school, and that's when more tourists are coming out here and things in nature. So that's we probably go see a whole lot of more bikinis and all the rest of that shit. And it coming, actually, I would say the next following weeks, because summertime for us out here in California really starts in May, and then supposedly it happens in June, but it doesn't happen like around May 27th and whatnot. I'm gonna tell you right now, the way you know summertime in California is when you hear Will Smith, Summertime. Once you hear that track, that's when you know summer's here. The only time you know when summer's over is when you hear that track again during August, then you know summer's gone. So it's going to be a pretty interesting summer this year, but it's going to be some big stuff, so stay tuned. Because your boy going to try to go to all the beaches around the world to do these podcasts. So you guys might see me in Italy next time. You guys might see me in Australia, New Zealand, Hawaii, wherever the places may be. That's where you guys probably go see me right by the beaches in these podcasts. I'm not bullshitting around while I'm saying it. I'm keeping it real. For those of you that don't like cursing, my apologies. But like I said before, as I end closing this, I'll go by the name of Chinchilla Q, also known as Quinn Moore of hiprockerproductionscl.com. Motivational speaker, entrepreneur, music producer, and all around do other different trades, of different work. So with that though, ladies and gents, I'm going to catch you guys on a weekly podcast, which will be part 10, which is really amazing because the video feed's been cool minute. The video's going to be up on YouTube. You know what? Probably going to be doing that today. I'm going to try to see if I can make that. I'm going to make it happen. I'm not going to try to see if I'm going to actually make it happen. So they could be on the website. That would actually be perfect because I need to have more video on my website anyways. But yeah. So with that though, ladies and gents, I want to thank you guys for tuning into the video podcast. Now if you guys want to tune into the special podcast, it's going to be happening at Spreaker.com/the lounge. Be posted up later on, so just stay tuned for that because that right there is gonna be a dope one as well. So with that though, thank you guys for the hearts and thank you guys for everything else, and I'm gonna catch you guys next week. Actually, you know what, before I go, I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna just walk, so just walk with a brother as we go deeper on the other side of the pier. and that way you guys can listen to the sounds of the ocean. So shout out to you guys that's from different parts of the world as well that tune into the podcast. Shout out to everybody else that's from different states that tune into the podcast as well. And if you from California, you most definitely need to be out here in Santa Monica as well. It's beautiful. It feels great. The environment as well. There's a seagull perch on one of those stools. I see why they take a crap over there all the time. At the same time, oh y'all, you guys just truly, you guys just truly need to enjoy life. And you know, I had to give a little bit of comedy there because I know this podcast has been talking about some serious topics, but at the same time, it's always good to feel great, feel good, and uplift yourself. And at the same time, it's always good to laugh because laughter is the key to medicine. Well, yeah, it's key to medicine, key to getting better. So, with that, ladies and gents, I bid you guys farewell for right now. But till then, you guys could truly just enjoy yourselves, and at the same time, just also be like the waves of the ocean. Be peaceful, and just keep everything going. Or be like the aircraft if I could see it. Booyah right there. But just be peaceful, enjoy life, enjoy everything. And with that, ladies and gents, I'll catch you guys next week. So it's your boy once again, Chichilla Q, also known as DJ Skylo. I also do DJing too. Forgot to mention that. But your boy Q Moore saying peace, sayonara, adios. The Black Irish Man. Catch you guys next time. One love. Peace out.